Hello and welcome back. Now we are going to start our very last organ system, and that is the female reproductive system. And we will start with some external genitalia, all the structures of the vulva. So in lab, you've already learned about the mons pubis, the labia majus, labia minus, and the clitoris anteriorly where the labia meet with each other. There's a couple of other terms I want to make sure you understand. The first one is the word perineum. Now, technically, the perineum is everything that is under here. For instance, in a male, it'd be everything from the root of the penis to the anus. But in women, when we're talking the perineum, we're usually just talking this area right here between the labia and the anus, not the entire triangular area. And the last structure is the vestibule. So the vestibule is this potential space, the opening to the holy grail, as it were. So in the vestibule, this is where a certain gland will open into. Does everybody know what gland that is? I'll come to it soon. All right. The last concept I want to get off this slide, and there's an 8-minute clip from Orange is the New Black called The Three Openings or something like that. So go ahead and watch that if you have time and you want some amusement. There are 3 openings down here. There's an opening anteriorly, which is the urethra. If you look on this sagittal view, here is the external urethral orifice. As we move posteriorly, we're going to have the opening to the vagina, and then as we move even more posteriorly, we have the anal opening. So 3 openings, 1, 2, and 3. And this is why, and you're going, well, okay, who cares? What difference does it make? It matters in women because there are bacteria at the anal opening, and the urethra opening is sterile. So on all the baby girls and on ladies, we wipe our perineal area from anterior going posterior. We don't go in the other direction. Doesn't matter what you may have seen or heard or thought it was okay to do. There's no porno flick. It's not good to go in any direction except from anterior to posterior. You don't want to introduce those germs. All right, so here's the gland I was talking about, the vestibular gland or Bartholin's gland. So as you can see, it's the body of the gland is in the posterior aspect of the labia majora, and then the duct comes through the labia minora to enter at the opening of the vestibule, and that's why it has the name the vestibular gland. Now, if you go back to when I was talking the introduction to the male reproductive, we talked about homologous organs. So what male structure that releases that mucousy secretion for lubrication do you think this is analogous to? Bet you can figure that one out. And I also mentioned that on occasion, especially when you're pregnant, this opening can get blocked and you can end up with a Bartholin gland cyst, which could be painful. But it will go away on its own in a few days. You can put warm compresses, or if it's really bad when you're pregnant and stuff like that, you can go see your midwife or your obstetrician. All right, continuing on into the vagina. So the vagina has a stratified squamous epithelium because this is the epithelium we have everywhere in our body where there can be some abrasions when things are being inserted, like the fork and the food into our mouth. And yes, things go into the vagina. Also in the vagina, we have those wrinkles that we had in our stomach, the rugae, and this is to allow it to stretch because the vagina is normally collapsed down on itself. Now the cells here do have some secretions. It's very acidic. It has a low pH, and there are resident bacteria, which is a good thing. These are not the same bacteria that you have in your anal canal. You're not going to be getting sick from these bacteria. However, here's the important thing. If you have a tampon in the vagina for an extended period of time, say 12 hours overnight, the bacteria will grow because they're being fed that nutrient blood agar, all that blood and dead and dying tissue that you are losing in your menstrual period. So toxic shock is a real possibility. So when you open that box of tampons the next time, read that insert for once in your life. You can hear all about toxic shock. Vagina is also pretty amazing because it gets hormonal signals, so it knows when it's about time for your period. And at that point in time, there's a massive influx in your MALT, your mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue. We have a lot more granulocytes and lymphocytes there. So to try to keep those bacteria at bay because of that dead tissue there that they can feast on. And then the clitoris. At the anterior portion is where you, of the two labia joining, this is where you find the glans clitoris. And as you can see, there are two bulbs, and they kind of go posteriorly and laterally. And there is corpus cavernosum in the clitoris. Now, the clitoris is different than the penis. It has 8,000 nerves, which is actually more than the penis has. So there's more sensitivity, and it's condensed in a smaller area. So don't shortchange a woman. And it can double or even triple in size with engorgement. And for some ladies, this is pretty much like 95% internal, whereas on other ladies, you actually can kind of see the glans clitoris and the engorgement externally more. It has both parasympathetic and sympathetic innervation like the penis for the erection and the orgasms, but because of the differences in structure and innervation, the clitoris allows you to have multiple orgasms. You don't go all the way down to baseline and have to come up again in order to have an orgasm. So that's it for the external structures, and I will see you for the next section, which will be some internal structures. Thanks.